Federal leadership, Prime Minister, the next election. Julia Gillard, $1.30. Kevin Rudd, $3. I advise everyone to get on Kevin Rudd at $3. Huge odds. Because I'm telling you, as night is day and day is night, Kevin Rudd will be the Labor leader in the next month or two. It's all bullshit. So what are they going to do? They'll just march Gillard out somehow. I don't know how, but they'll do it. You've done your job. Live a happy life with all the money we've given you. So Lazarus is reborn. The great Kevin Rudd. He's become Prime Minister again. Oh my God. Oh, we all felt sorry for him when he got sacked because he started crying, and we started crying, and we love this guy and he's Prime Minister again. Fantastic. She'll probably resign. She'll most likely resign, and people will just forget about her. She'll just go into oblivion. She'll be well paid out by the Rothschilds for what she's done, a magnificent job to fool the Australian electorate into accepting a blatant, absolute lie about carbon dioxide causing global warming. I just hope everyone took my advice and backed Kevin Rudd to be PM in the next election. I await the commission in the mail. Jokes aside, folks, we in Australia do not have a government. It is a corporation controlled by the Rothschild Zionists, the globalist bankers. They don't give a shit about you or I. They have one agenda, and that's to appease the control system. The Illuminati created the left and right paradigm, the two-party system, Liberal, Labor, to make out like we got a say in things. We got no say at all. They put in who they like, who they want to work for them, to appease their system. They couldn't give a shit about us. From day one, I can see this Gillard Rudd thing was a farce, a circus. He was never sacked. He's the head honcho of the whole system. He runs the show. He writes the script. He wrote the script for Gillard to be the Prime Minister, a novelty, a woman, first woman. Her only reason she was put in was to bring in the carbon tax. We in Australia are guinea pigs for a lot of things for the New World Order agenda. The carbon tax was one of the big ones. She was there for the carbon tax. You can see the day after he was supposedly sacked, he had a speech all prepared. It was all fake, all the emotion, elephant tears. That was just to give him sympathy, to put him high up in the polls, just in case that he made his comeback. She had a speech prepared. It was all about how great Mr. Rudd was. What a lot of bullshit. They make out like they hated each other. All lies. You should see them after the carbon tax was brought in. They're all hugging and kissing each other. They're both in the Fabian Society. They sleep together. It is just a joke, people. All along, they just rode Gillard as the Prime Minister. Rudd is the one that's pulling the strings. She's just a puppet. All along, the game was, he made a challenge. He got slaughtered 71-31. Then there was this other non-challenge. All bullshit, and all along he said, I'm not going to challenge. They make it out like he's an honourable man. He's not going to knife her or anything. The time, like I said, they had to get rid of her somehow. She's done her job. She's well funded by the Rothschilds. She was going to just resign, just like her and the Combays and the Swans and the other clowns that are all behind the carbon tax bloody scam. So, of course, just before she calls an early election, they play the game, and all of a sudden, the last day of Parliament before the election, there's a call for a bloody a leadership spill, but on her condition that whoever loses has to resign from politics. What a lot of bullshit. All that means is I'm going to resign because I've been well funded by the Rothschilds. I'm going to live a happy life forever after. That's what that meant. And it doesn't matter, like whoever, when you join politics, you've got no say in anything. You become part of the party, you get told what to do, you're just a number, your vote counts in whatever laws they want to pass through. In this leadership spill, They just made up any figure, 57, 45, whatever it was. It's just a bullshit figure. There was no vote count. It just had to go by the script. Rudd was always going to, come back. All the political experts, the Laurie Oakses of this world, even days before said, "Oh, Kevin Rudd's a dead man. He's finished. I knew all along. From my first video, October 11, 2011, you can see it was a joke. Absolute joke. He was always going to come back. He runs the show. He's as evil as shit. Please watch the rest of this video, and it shows how the things that I've said all along that Rudd was going to come back. Even the fact that Bill Shorten, one of the big knobs in the Labor Party, heavily supporting Gillard all along, supposedly knife Rudd, comes out just before this leadership spill and he backs Rudd. What a lot of bullshit. Why bring back this guy? What's he done? It wasn't good before, so why all of a sudden bring him back? Because he's the head honcho of the whole freaking system. We got to wake up, people. We do not have a government that governs for us. They are fucking evil.
I believed we needed to do better. But Kevin Rudd is a man of remarkable achievement. He made wonderful history for this nation.
5th of May. Interesting what the odds are. I finished off my video by saying that you cannot lose if you back Kevin Rudd. Well, look across here, he's gone out to $8. Gillard $1.18. Simon Crean's actually second favourite at the $6, and Kevin Rudd at $8. Well, I'm just going to have a bit more of that, and this is just proof that I'm going to show you that I'm a man of my words, and I'll put my money where my mouth is. Oh, there it is. I just put a lazy 100 on it. At $8, Kevin Rudd, next election. We'll see if he goes out more, and I'll put more money on him. And this is the laughable one. Oh God, I gotta laugh. When I said two great actors, these two, Gillard and Rudd, ever since she supposedly knifed him in the back room, yeah, bullshit. It's like they hate each other, they hate each other. I mean, they show a picture of him in the audience while she's making a speech, just giving these dirty looks, and they hate each other. Bullshit! They're both from the Fabian Society. I mean, I didn't mention that at the start. That's one of the big things, part of the control system. They're members of the Fabian Society. In fact, we know they're probably, in bed together. They're working together with this scam. Oh, but they make out like they hate each other. It's a joke, and people can't see this. So, yeah, Rudd, he hasn't disappeared. So what happens? Gillard becomes Prime Minister. Okay. Within a month or whatever, 2 weeks, whatever it was, the only thing she mentions, okay, we're going to have a carbon tax. And I'll tell you right here, right now, the only reason this woman was put in, only reason, forget about anything else, was for this carbon tax to go through, and no matter what, to damn with anything else to do with politics, get this carbon tax through, Miss Gillard, whatever your name is. That's all we want you here for. It's just a game. This guy was not sacked. He happens to be one of the biggest, the henchman behind all this scam, one of the biggest power brokers in the whole party system. He wasn't sacked. He just moved aside, because it just so happened at this time, before he was sacked, the Copenhagen meeting where all the global warming idiots got together to push, this scam through. He wanted to wave a piece of paper to him about the emissions trading scheme, but that wasn't passed through our Senate, thank Christ. So he didn't have the luxury of going there and saying all Australians are behind this. So they thought, we'll just push this guy aside, and how about we just, this is a novelty. We'll bring in a woman Prime Minister. That's never happened before. The public will fall for her. Oh, Julia, love you, Julia, Yeah, we'll bring her in, make her Prime Minister, and we'll use her. What happens? The tax goes through. Gillard's done a job. the control system's wrapped. But everyone's upset, you know. Everyone's upset. This road's upset. So what do? All the talk is not going to be about the tax that's gone in. It's going to be about, oh, is Gillard going to be, you know, still Prime Minister? Or is Rudd? Why are we talking about Rudd anyway? The guy should be gone, banished. But you notice there's polls comparing him to Gillard, 70%. What? Do they know something we don't know? So it's all going to be about who's going to be Prime Minister out of them, or is Liberal going to come in, you know, whatever. It's all bullshit. I mean, so what are they going to do? They'll just march Gillard out somehow. I don't know how, but they'll do it. You've done your job. You know, live a happy life with all the money we've you know, given you. So Lazarus is reborn. The great Kevin Rudd. He's become Prime Minister again. Oh my God. Oh, we all felt sorry for him when he got sacked because he started crying, and we started crying, and we love this guy and he's Prime Minister again. Fantastic. Oh, and what's going to happen? What's going to happen? It'll probably come to an election. It'll come to an election, and this guy will be Prime Minister, and he'll probably win it. Oh my God, what's happening? I mean, that probably happens. I'm telling you now, he pulls the whole strings in the whole system. And I've said all along that come the next election, Mr. Rudd will be the leader. He will be the leader because of his popularity. People love him. You know, the guy that comes out and cries, that just grabs so many people, and they all felt it was sickening. It was an absolute sickening performance, but that's how they do it, people. So anyway, Miss Gillard, they've kept her on, made her look like the Prime Minister, when in fact that she's virtually has no say in it. She's told what to do by those in control above her. Like I said, she'll be well paid. The way I see it, she'll probably resign. She'll most likely resign, and people will just forget about her. She'll just go into oblivion. She'll be well paid out by the Rothschilds for what she's done. A magnificent job to fool the Australian electorate into accepting a blatant, absolute lie about carbon dioxide causing global warming. But all in all, folks, that's how I see it. We'll see what happens in the next 2 or 3 months. Could be earlier. Don't know. But rest assured, this guy up here pulls the strings, and this thing down there is just a puppet, and it's all a game that we fall for. Obviously, they're going to string this along. They've got plenty of time before the polls. That's why they called it early. They'll drag it on for a few weeks, or probably a month, or even. Then, slowly by slowly, Labor ministers will come out. They'll say they've got overwhelming support for Mr. Rudd, and Gillard will lose her numbers, and she will just come out one day. She will come out one day, here I'm going to repeat it 3 times, she'll come out one day and actually resign her Prime Ministership. The fake Prime Ministership that she's been in, the puppet Prime Minister, all along with Kevin Rudd pulling the strings. I'll say it again, she will come out in weeks or months or whatever, not too long, and will resign. She will probably even resign from politics. I mean, she can resign from politics, but yeah, Kevin Rudd, he was sacked. He's an older guy. Did he resign? Nah, because we all knew, sorry. Some people knew that it's all a fucking game. We'll see what happens, but I'll state again, Gillard will come out soon and resign from Prime Ministership because they want her to make her look good. They don't want to put her down. She's done her job. The public will feel sorry for the bitch. They'll forgive her. They'll forget about the carbon tax and everything else, the shit that she's done. She will resign. People will be happy that she's gone. They won't slaughter her when she goes to the polls. I mean, that would be really putting her down. She will resign. We'll see what happens. It is the 21st of March when I've said this. So, yeah, it's so obvious that what's going to happen is in the next month or two, like I said, all the Labor people are going to, the polls are probably going to go down, and they're all going to be coming out and saying, yeah, we have to bring Rudd in, we have to bring Rudd in. It's going to happen. It's all a game, folks. You heard it right here. He will be the next Labor leader before the election.